the family and I recently did a little bit of an early spring cleaning, kind of get the clutter out. So as we're sorting through boxes of things from the last 20 years of our life, one thing in particular that came up quite literally made me squeal with joy when I saw it. And that is this VHS videotape right here. This is the story of Webster High School Spotlight 93. This is a really cool store.
Okay, yeah,
All right. I am really excited to get the images off that tape.
Community Center in Brighton. The building was evacuated by the bomb threat early.
All right, I am super excited. The photo store called back. It only took them 2 days to convert that VHS tape over to a DVD format, so I am on my way there now. Howdy. Picking up so much food on this. I appreciate it. Get this sucker home and see what kind of good stuff we can find. Okay, so it's a couple days since I picked up the video. So this is the story of my time as a musician. The year was 1993. My best friend growing up, we had always been into music, and one way or another we got our hands on guitars and we were trying to learn and we were trying to make music, and we had all of these grand dreams for being in a band when we grew up together. I was bass and lead vocal ostensibly, but so my friend was also guitar and lead vocal. We had decided to kind of share the responsibilities because he could sing certain songs better and I can sing certain songs better. We ended up hooking up with a kid who had a drum set. His name was Andy. We also recruited a friend of ours, Jim, who was a keyboard player. We were horrible. we were absolutely horrible. Time on stage that I'm going to show you is, again, in 1993. Took place at Webster High School. It was a talent show. Spotlight 93 was the name of the show. This was like huge to us. This was like the opportunity to be on stage and have our big moment. Now, one original song, which is kind of what you're going to hear in the course of this video, my friend basically wrote it for a girl that he had a crush on and was trying to date, and it was just the most sappy, ridiculous ballad. Not a lot of creativity. Again, we weren't really good at what we did, so none of our songs that we tried to write were all that good to begin with. And we were the first performers of the second act of the show. So here's the announcer coming up.
Hey, the Fuzzy Bunnies.
Yes, you just heard him say the Fuzzy Bunnies. That was not the name of our band. And Fuzzy Bunnies was something that was sprung on me like a night or two before the show. Oh, by the way, they want us to use a family-friendly name, so we're just going to use Fuzzy Bunnies. And oh, by the way, my mother got me these stuffed animals. We're going to throw stuffed animals at the crowd afterwards because the name is Fuzzy Bunnies. And oh my God, all right. Fine, I don't just want to be on stage, I just want to play. So here we go, and this is us. Hold on tight, kids. Okay, that is not me. That is my friend that I've been talking about since the beginning. It was very dark. This is very grainy 1991 footage, and yet, here I am. That is me in all of my 17-year-old glory, with my hair roughly as long as it is now. The head swish, the signature head swish. Up there with my bass guitar. So another piece of stress that came out of this performance was my attire. So I knew that I was going to wear this black leather vest that I had, but I made the choice not to wear a shirt underneath it and not to button the front. Now, I was in fairly decent shape back then, but there was an argument and a fight that took place afterwards because I was showing my stomach hair, and there were some people that were not particularly happy with that. But there I am. That's me with my big ass wallet hanging out of my back pocket. that bass line was so obnoxious. I wanted to keep it simple. He did not. That's Jim. Jim and I ran across each other years later. We both were working for the same bank at the time. I believe he's still working for that bank down in New York City. But that was Jim doing his keyboard thing. Here comes Andy on drums. I don't know. I don't remember Andy's last name. I feel so bad. He was very odd, and frankly, I don't know whatever happened to that guy. I have no idea. I think he went off to like a seminary school or something. But as you can see, there's not a lot of energy, not a lot of creativity, and even the layout of the stage was kind of stupid. Like, we were all 10 to 15 feet apart from each other. Jim was basically sitting on a egg crate. And my friend had made that stupid poster to put up on his amp stack. For some reason, he had a second guitar with him, which was never picked up. I don't know exactly what he was going for. So, in terms of vocals, I'm sorry, there's not a lot to really enjoy here. So I'm gonna turn him down, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more. So, you know, what's interesting about the video is, again, this was captured in 1993. VHS technology, a lot of these weird, goofy effects that were being provided afterward by the AV department, whichever juniors or seniors in the AV club, with all of these weird, slow motion editing, the layering, ghosting in and out of each other. There I am. Oh, God. But I was into it now. Now I was moving. Bopping around, doing my thing, trying to look all cool and trying to look like I'm into the rhythm and I'm rocking it, because the song was so damn lame that I had to overplay it almost, which again was another point of contention here. There's a lot that went wrong during that opening guitar piece. Apparently, unknown to me, was that I was apparently supposed to stand perfectly still. I wasn't supposed to move. It was supposed to be some kind of somber lead-in moment, and I was supposed to stand there like a statue on stage, which to me was completely absurd. It made no sense at all. Andy looks like he's half asleep. He's shaking his head no. The quirky thing about Andy, too, was he didn't hear the rest of the music, right? Every time we would try to work on a song, he would ask us, oh, is that boop-a-doo-boop, or is that da-da-da-da? And we'd look at him like, we don't know, it's this song. And we'd play the guitar riff, or we'd play the bass riff, and he he couldn't connect which of his drum beats that he knew went with what we were telling him we were playing. Very odd. Guitar solo wasn't too bad. Could have been better. The singing just kills me to this day, and it really kind of like, I get it, I know, this was his school and his night, but man, it's like cringeworthy. If you're still watching this at this point, thank you, I appreciate it. Because I'm having a hard time sitting through it right now. Whoa! Give me a break, dude. She never gave you the time of day. She don't want anything to do with you. Andy with the cutoff. Do you see the cutoff tank top up there? Of course, I don't really have any room to talk. I'm up there bearing my pasty white, non-muscular chest for the world to see. Oh, freeze frame. I'm frozen. Isn't that cool? It was the 90s, man. It was a weird time. Alright, back to guitar solo. Here we go. I'm I'm still freeze frame. I don't know why they left me up there for so long. It's a still image. I don't know. Oh, and here come the stuffed animals thrown out to the crowd. And freeze frame, there we go. So yes, once again, that was the Fuzzy Bunnies.
That was the Fuzzy Bunnies.
You know, I remember it all. I remember it clearly. I remember that feeling of being up there and looking out over that dark crowd. Now, it's not my first time on stage, right? I did a lot of acting throughout school. School plays and productions and things. That being on stage and doing that part of it was not a new experience for me. But to have an instrument in my hand and to be expected to produce music, good music, that the people in the crowd would hopefully clap for at the end, that was the experience. And they did, and they gave us a great round of applause. It was really kind of cool, and it was that rush, you know. But there was that nervous sweat, you know. There was that, my hands are shaking, but I got to keep my hands still. There's so many talented musicians that I do know, and they're probably watching this and going, "You're an idiot." Well, I am, and I was, but I'll never forget that night. And it was the catalyst for the end of, obviously, that band. I mean, there were so many missteps and so many missed opportunities, and you know, my friend really just bulldozed the whole thing to what he wanted to do, and so there's that part of it's a little bit of a negative when I look at it, as I've gotten on in life, and when I do look back on that. But it was a great experience, and to this day, I'd love to repeat it. I'm dabbling in music again. I am not a musician. I'm not talented. But I'm going to try to convince you that I'm talented through all kinds of smoke and mirrors and trickery. But you know, it wasn't too long after that our friendship fizzled out and ended, and I moved on to my life with my girlfriend, who is my wife now. And yeah, you know, once I was on stage with an instrument in my hand, and a crowd clapped and cheered for me. So I was so excited when I found that VHS tape, and I'm really glad that I was able to share that with you. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you are new to the channel, thank you. Thanks for spending some time with me today. And I invite you to subscribe and come along. If you are subscribed, thank you so much for hitting that bell and that subscribe button, and hanging out with me a couple times a week here. And for now, I will leave it there. I will continue to bring you the memories of my life as I find them. But until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the road.